Hello, everybody. What's up? This is Brad with another episode of the Daily Disney Blog Podcast. Thank you for downloading this episode. I really appreciate it. And today's show, as you can see, is now a video podcast. We are now a video podcast as well as an audio podcast. You can find the video if you're interested to see my stupid face talking into a computer monitor here. You can find that on YouTube, on the YouTube channel that you heard about at the top of the show. On this episode, we're just going to test this out and see how this works. If it works well, cool, we'll use it. If it doesn't and no one cares, I'm just going to keep doing the audio version. Today's show is going to be a news show, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's been going on in the world of Disney. And this week is mostly Star Wars. Oh, yeah. So if you're a big Star Wars fan, this episode is for you because there's a lot to talk about in the world of Star Wars. So let's go ahead and pop it off with my favorite park, just kidding, at Walt Disney World, the Animal Kingdom. So here's the news that came out of Animal Kingdom. We got some more details on Pandora, the World of Avatar. And this is a quote from, I think I got this quote from the Disney Parks blog. I'm pretty sure that's where I got this from. And the person who gave this is the Walt Disney Parks and Resorts chairman, Bob Chapek, who is the really high up guy at Disney. And this is his quote on what's going to be happening at Pandora, the World of Avatar. Pandora, the World of Avatar will bring a variety of new experiences to the park, including a family-friendly attraction called the Na'vi River Journey. The adventure begins as guests set out in canoes and venture down a mysterious sacred river hidden within the bioluminescent rainforest. The full beauty of Pandora reveals itself as the canoes pass by exotic glowing plants and amazing creatures. The journey culminates in an encounter with a Na'vi shaman who has a deep connection to the life force of Pandora and sends positive energy out into the forest through her music. Sounds awesome. I don't know how you could not be excited about that. I am super, super excited about Pandora, the land of Avatar. It's shocking too, because when I first heard about it, I was kind of like everybody else. I was kind of like, it's not Disney, but I've had to think about it this way. I'm not a huge Cars fan, and I've never been to Disneyland, so I can't say 100%, but from what I've seen, I'm in love with Cars Land, and I'm not a huge Cars fan at all. So if they can do what they did with Cars Land, with Pandora, we should be in for a really, really cool, I'm trying to get the music here. We should be in for a really, really fun time with Pandora, the Land of Avatar. So I am excited, and I think it's safe to say that everyone should be getting excited for Pandora, the Land of Avatar. We're going to save all the Star Wars stuff for the end of the show, so let's kind of move on here. This is a few weeks old at this point, but it's worth noting. You can now do Magic Bands on demand at the Magic Kingdom in the exit queue of Space Mountain, and the rumor is that they're going to be flushing this out to all of the parks, so it won't just be a Magic Kingdom thing. So if you're into Magic Bands, like I am, you can have a custom Magic Band. It takes about 15 minutes from what I understand to do it, so pretty cool. Christmas is in full swing at both Disneyland and Disney World, so if you're a huge Christmas fan, go ahead and get out there because you can do the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. You can see all the overlays at Disneyland, so you can still see the Haunted Mansion Holiday and the holiday overlay for It's a Small World, which is really, really beautiful. If you've never seen that, definitely check that out. It's really, really pretty. This is actually really interesting. Disneyland does the Rose Bowl Parade every year, and they're adding 60th anniversary floats to the parade this year. One of them is a Frozen float, of course. The middle one is going to be a float representing the 60th anniversary of Walt Disney World. And the last one is a Jakku Star Wars float. Really excited about that. It looks really, 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 really cool. I could not be more excited about that. So we're going to kind of get into the Star Wars stuff here a little bit because there's not a ton of news. It's just all condensed into like 3 or 4 days. Let's go ahead and mention this because I don't want to have to end on this because it's really sad. You guys know that last week I talked about the gentleman Daniel Fleetwood, who was having issues with lung cancer and wanted to see Star Wars: The Force Awakens before he died, and they actually were able to do it a few weeks ago. And unfortunately, about 3 days after that happened, Daniel Fleetwood died from his complications from the lung cancer. So if you are on Facebook or on Twitter, please tweet his wife, Ashley Fleetwood, who was the main person behind getting him able to see Star Wars: The Force Awakens and just spread some love, because that's a tough time. And I can't imagine what the pain she's going through, and I don't want her to feel alone now that he's gone. And after everyone was so active in trying to let him get to see The Force Awakens, and just everybody give her some love. Go on Twitter and give her some love. The Osborne Dancing Lights are back at Disney's Hollywood Studios for one last time. This is it. If you're a big Osborne Dancing Lights fan, go out and see it. Because apparently it's going away. Now, here's my thought on it. I don't think that it's actually going away. I bet you that it changes names and it changes locations. But here's the thing. Osborne gives Disney so much business during the year. People will go just to Disney just to see the Osborne Lights. So I don't really see it going away forever. It is possible, but I doubt it. I bet you'll see it somewhere in the future. And I heard on a podcast, somebody mentioned where would be a great place to put the Osborne Lights. I had no idea. Somebody said to put it at the Fort Wilderness Campgrounds, which is a really cool idea. But if you do love the Osborne Lights, don't be silly. Go see it before it's officially gone forever. All right. Are you guys ready for the Star Wars news? Because it's about to get serious. Star Wars: The Force Awakens IMAX poster came out just a few days ago. And I already have tickets to go see it in IMAX the day it opens. I actually have already bought tickets to see it on the 17th, the day before it comes out. And I've bought tickets to see it in IMAX 3D on the 18th, the day it actually comes out. Super excited. The IMAX poster is, the only word I can think of for the IMAX poster is iconic. I think it's absolutely perfect. It's better than the movie posters that we got. It's better than the character posters that we got. It's beautiful. It shows Daisy Ridley's character Rey in BB-8 on Jakku, and it shows the two suns in the distance, and it just says Star Wars: The Force Awakens IMAX. It's beautiful. And yes, I am drinking wine from, look at that there, the Food and Wine 20th pass holder cup wine glass thing that takes you 3 days to get for some reason. So good. So good. All right, let's get into the big news here for Star Wars. Star Wars Launch Bay opened at Disneyland 2 days ago. And with that was a lot of stuff. You get Hyperspace Mountain, Star Wars The Path of a Jedi. You get the new Jakku part on Star Tours. A lot of stuff. Lots and lots of stuff. Menu changes. My favorite menu item now, which is Darth by Chocolate. It's like a chocolate mousse dessert over in Tomorrowland. Let me just say this. If you're a Star Wars fan and you live in Disneyland, this is going to be the best you're going to get up until Star Wars Land opens. It's just completely overgrown with Star Wars stuff now. There's nothing in Tomorrowland but Star Wars stuff. I love it. I want to go to Disneyland so bad. I can't stand it. Especially right now with the 60th going on and all the Star Wars Launch Bay stuff. Because if you don't know this, it hasn't opened in Disney World yet. It will open, I think, December 11th-ish. I should check on that before the show's over and see if it actually is. I'm pretty sure it's like December 1st, December 11th, something like that. And it'll be going through, Seasons of the Force will be going through January there. And some sad news at Disney World regarding Star Wars. No more Star Wars weekends. They have officially cut Star Wars weekends off. It's over. They're not saying if it's ever going to come back or not, but I wouldn't hold your breath. I think they're going to try to stick to the Seasons of the Force thing and see how that works for them. I hope they do decide to bring it back because it was a pretty big draw and I've never been, but it looks like a lot of fun. I really hope they bring it back. I was actually planning on going this year, so I'm kind of bummed out that they're not doing it. But Seasons of the Force looks really awesome. If you have not seen any of the stuff yet on YouTube, go on YouTube and type in Star Wars Launch Bay and look it up. It's absolutely incredible. They have all these... It almost reminds me of like One Man's Dream for Star Wars. There's props and models and teasers for Force Awakens. It looks absolutely cool. I really can't wait to see it for myself in Florida. And inside Star Wars Launch Bay are 2 meet and greets. which is really cool. And I know someone who just got hired for the Orlando version of this to work with the meet and greet characters. And the characters that are there, you can meet and greet with Darth Vader and Chewbacca. And here's the thing, they both talk. They're like the talking Mickey over at Town Square. You can interact with them. They'll talk to you. It looks really, really, really cool. And if you've gone, please hit me up on Twitter at Daily Disney Blog and let me know how cool it was, because it looks really, really, really cool. I'm trying to think of what else happened for Star Wars Launch Day. Hyperspace Mountain. I was super. If you go back and listen to the D23 wrap-up show that me and Josie did, I was super hesitant to hear about Hyperspace Mountain. I really was kind of like, don't mess with a classic. You know, it's one of those rides for me that like doesn't need to be touched. Again, like I said, I've never been to Disneyland, even though I'm wearing a Disneyland Resort hoodie. I got this at the Disney store for like $1 on the clearance thing. It's awesome. If you don't have a Disney store in your town, I feel bad for you. It's absolutely, they've completely changed the ride. It looks like a brand new attraction. It feels like you're in an X-Wing and you're flying through and you see TIE fighters coming at you. You see Star Destroyers off in the distance. It's insane. You go through hyperspace, you hit hyperspeed. It just looks insane. I really, really wish that they would do the same thing for the Orlando Space Mountain. I really do. I didn't think I would ever say that in a million years, but here I am. It looks insane. Look it up on YouTube if you haven't seen it. It looks awesome. So I think that's about it for the Star Wars news. It's really hard for me to just talk about it because I feel like I'm meandering a little bit, but thank you guys for watching this on YouTube. If you watched it on YouTube, thank you for downloading this episode of the podcast. I appreciate it. Like I said, it wasn't a ton of news, but it was all Star Wars. So if you're not a huge Star Wars fan, and there's more Star Wars movie news and stuff, we'll try to focus on the parks for the most part on this, minus the IMAX poster. It was just that cool. You had to see it. And then, like, in between all this stuff happening, there's been Star Wars movie previews coming out. There's been 2 or 3 TV spots now. There's been the international version of the trailer, which both trailers are available on my YouTube channel if you want to check those out. If you haven't seen them, or if you've seen them a million times and you want to continue to see them, check them out over on YouTube, and follow me again on Twitter at Daily Disney Blog. And thank you so much for that, for downloading the show. I really appreciate it. And we will see you tomorrow, because this is going to be a daily blog podcast now. I'm doing it every single day. My wife doesn't know that, but I'm doing it every single day. It might be a 3-minute one just to check in and say hi. It might be a ride through Wednesday. It might be me and Josie. It might be me and my wife. It might be me and my mom. It could be whoever. So, but we're going to try to do this every single day. So it's going to be a lot of me. You don't have to watch. No one's going to make you. But thank you guys for watching. What? Thank you guys that do watch and download the podcast. Please rate and review on iTunes and all that kind of fun stuff. I will see you later. Have a good one.